Guys, welcome back. So next topic we are going to talk about regression analysis. Talking about the regression analysis, first I would like to introduce what is a simple linear regression. So what is a linear regression? In Chinese we call 线性回归. What is a linear regression? So you may find a formula like y equal to a plus bx. So that is a line representation for line. So what is a simple linear regression? 回归. So what is a regression analysis? So a simple linear regression is use a model to predict the relationship between two continuous variables. So the two continuous variables like y depend on x. So you may find the formula y equal to a plus bx. So two continuous variables. So one variable will be response. It depends on x. So often the object, so we use the output variable like y, or we call response in 变数. So we use an input we call predictor variable to predict 预测 to predict the value of an output variable y. So it is a simple linear regression. So here there are 4 simple examples for linear regressions. The first one is a positive relationship. You can see when x is going up, y is going up. So this is positive relationship between the two variables x and y. So the second diagram, it presents a negative relationship between x and y. It's going down. When x is going become bigger, the value of y is become smaller. Okay, this one is we call linear relationship. So we can use a line to present the relationship between two variables. Also, they may not use a line to predict. Maybe they use a curved line to present these two variables, the relationship between two variables. So you may find from these 4 diagrams there are several types for linear regression. Okay, so what is our problem for this chapter? So we want to find out what is the major factor will affect the y variable is our target variable. Target variable is response, and we translate the response variable to engaged, right? So you may see our diagram again. So when we are talking about linear regressions, the first process is we are going to find what is the linear regression, regression analysis between engaged, this one we call target variable, output variables, and you may find the continuous variables like this one, customer lifetime value, as our x1. What about the x2? The second variable is income. is any relationship between income and response and engagement. The third one is this one. Monthly premium auto. So how much they paid for every month. Is there any relationship between these four variables between the relationship between this variable between engaged, and also we are talking about what is the relationship between total claim amount between engaged. So we'll find out the regression analysis for these variables. Okay, so you guys know the purpose for next section. Analyze, regression analyze. So first we have to import the required packages. We call stakes model. This one, stake model. So we import this stake model as SM. Okay, statistic model. So we import this data set. Okay, so we have to describe okay, df. So you may find how many variables are continued variables. Customer lifetime value, income, they are continued variables. So we will find out these variables, continued variables, what is the relationship between y and these variables. So this is regression analysis. 逻辑回归, we call 回归. Okay, so you may find the data type for income is integer, right? What about the customers lifetime value, 终身的价值? They are all numericals, continued variables. So you may find there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 8 variables are continued variables. We call x1 all the way to x8. x1, x2, x3 到 x8. What is our response? Output value engaged. Okay, so let us to collect all the continued variables together. So with this comment, we put all these 8 continued variables together. So you may find this variable contains all the colors name for our continued variables. 所以这个变数呢，它涵盖了我们1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8个连续型的变数。So this continued vars, so it contains 8 columns name for analyzed. Okay, so with SM function is static models for regression analyzed. We use logistic regression. Okay, so the formula is like this way: SM.log. So we build a regression model for our analyzed. And what is the y variable? Is engaged. What is the x? The rest of the input variables. So there are 8 input variables we are going to input. So this is our input variables with these 8 variables. The y is our engaged variable. 好，那这边来看，所以 y 就是 engage。Continue variables 有8个变量。So we have these models, and we have this variable name for logic. Okay, so we built the model for analyzed. This one, LOGIT. Okay, so you may find the type for logic. Okay, so it's state models, discrete model, logic. And also we use this function because we have this variable, right? We have defined logic variable here with logic. And now we build a model with fit. Okay, the fit is to train our regression models and save the result as logic fit. Okay, so we got the models. So we have the answer of our regression analysis. Also, you can see the result for logic fit, the result, the model. Okay, so it got the models, but it didn't find anything from this one. But we have a function we call summarize. Please tell me the regression results, please. Okay, so we use this logic fit dot summary to print out the logic regression result. Okay, so you may find the result for the model, for the linear, for the regression model. 所以说我们这边找到了这个逻辑，这个回归分析啊，回归分析的结果。Okay, so let me explain the result for logic regression result. So you may find the result here. It tells you the dependent variable, which is y, is engaged, right? So y is engaged, like we put y here. X is here. So you may find the result engaged. So how many observations? So it's 9,134 observations. 有9134个观测值丢进去。So the model is logic regression analyzed. Okay, so what is this part? What is the result for this part? So here, how many variable we input? How many variable did we input? So we input 8 variables, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We input 8 variables as x and engage as y. So here shows the relationship between all variables with y. So here you may find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 input variables. So it tells you the coefficient for each variables. But the most important factor we are going to check is this one here. So here I have some explanation here. Coefficient is the relation coefficient for each variables. But this one we call p-value. P-value stands for is anything less than 0.05 小于0.05 0.05 less than this value, it means these two variables are with a strong connection. A strong connection. Okay, what is a strong connection mean? Here is mean a strong connection with positive. So what about this one? Is a strong connective connection. Okay, strong connection also, but it's negative 正向的，这个是正向的，这个是负向的。Positive for this one, positive for that one, negative for that one. Okay, so you can hear from this one. So you may see here, because this p-value is bigger than this one, 0.1 is bigger than 0.05. So it means customer lifetime value doesn't have a strong connection between the variable engaged. So it means customer lifetime does not have a strong connection between customer life value and engage. Okay, so you guys can to find out what are the strong connection between engaged from list A input variables. So you may find here this one. 0.006 is less than 0.05. So this one is correct. So income, it is a strong connection between income. There is a strong connection between input variable and engage. What about this one? 0 is close to 0, close to 0, close to 0. So these three variables is strong connection between engaged, monthly, premium, auto, months since last claim, months since policy inception. So these three variables has a strong connection between these three variables and engaged. So you can check the p-value here. It's almost 0, close to 0. What about this one? Number of open complaint. It's also, because it's 0.05, 0.01, so it's less than. So it has a strong connection between number of open complaint. What about this one? Number of policies is almost close. What about total claim amount? So they don't have a strong connection between these two variables. So with this regression result, we find there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 input variables has strong connection between engaged. Okay? Okay, it's your turn to practice.